What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and I thought Concord was peak levels of poor design in gaming. The characters were uninspiring and just plain ugly, and as a result, nobody played that game, and Sony took it right in the face.
Bring it! Come on, bring it!
Like I said, I thought that Concord was peak levels of poor design. I believed that this was the top level of failure that a game could reach. After all, Concord was dumped after only being released for about 2 weeks. We have been joking that Marathon is Concord 2.0 because it's another live service title under the Sony umbrella which features ugly characters, but I will give Concord this. At least their art was original. Bungie is now being accused of having lifted a good chunk of their Marathon art from this independent artist right here.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief. I don't do that anymore.
Steal.
Lie.
And it looks like Bungie might actually be guilty of what they're accused of, because as you can see here, it looks like the Marathon team has admitted that there was theft and has said that they are reaching out to the original artist to make this right. But the question is, are they actually sorry for doing this, or are they just sorry for getting caught?
And to all those affected, I want to say, we're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry.
With as rampant and excessive as this thievery appears to be, this might actually cause some real problems for Bungie and Sony. Namely, there will almost certainly be a settlement of some kind, and if this is true, if this artwork actually is stolen and Bungie is admitting it, then the artist can ask for the moon, and he will likely get it, or at least a large chunk of it. This will add a massive spike of cost to the game's development, and more than that, it's an abysmal look in the eyes of gamers. We aren't big fans of theft like this, but it really does beg the question, and I don't mean this as an insult to the original artist. The dude's art is fine in a vacuum, but it doesn't work particularly well in the context of a game like Marathon. But this all begs the question, if you're gonna steal art, why wouldn't you steal something so that your game looks like this? Why the hell would you steal something that makes it look like shit?
Looks like shit.
It does look like shit.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and also, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. The first part of the novel that I've written, a dark fantasy story called The Darkest Heritage, is now available in audiobook format for members only. The book itself will be ready to purchase on Amazon in the near future, but in the meantime, if you want to support alternatives to ugly crap like Marathon, then consider becoming a member of the channel for as little as $5 a month, and look for the book when it releases. But anyhow, let's look at these claims that Marathon has a bunch of stolen art. It all starts with the artist's post here on X, where he says, "The Marathon Alpha released recently, and its environments are covered with assets lifted from poster designs I made in 2017. And then he continues, saying, Bungie is of course not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I have refined for the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over their game without pay or attribution. I don't have the resources nor the energy to spare to pursue this legally, but I have lost count of the number of times a major company has deemed it easier to pay a designer to imitate or steal my work than to write me an email. In 10 years, I have never made a consistent income from this work, and I am tired of designers from huge companies mood boarding and parasiting my designs while I struggle to make a living. And fair enough, the guy has every right to be annoyed at people ripping shit from his work like this, and he has such a strong case that it won't take much in the way of time or resources to sue these guys and get really strong compensation. This image here has been circulating on social media. The artist said that he hid loss. Apparently that's a meme that I'm not familiar with, but he hid this meme in his design from 6 years ago, and then the next guy replied saying, "Here from the future, if anyone doubts the theft of your art, then this confirms it," and apparently that image shows the meme right there, so clearly this is theft that we are dealing with here. And then this guy shows a side-by-side comparison of art from the game next to art from the artist, and he says, "It's his entire portfolio, man. The further back you go, the more it looks like new Marathon. Even the QR-looking pixels start showing up on everything. This is so effed." And to Bungie's credit, it does appear as though they are acknowledging that this happened and they are looking to do the right thing. Of course, since they were so quick to admit wrongdoing, it makes me question whether or not they knew about this ahead of time, meaning they may not be sorry they did it, they're only sorry they got caught. Pirate Nation on X wrote, "Bungie admits design art used for Marathon was stolen. The artist responsible for the theft has already been fired. The new art team was unaware of the theft. They are currently researching how deep it goes and reaching out to the original artist to make amends." And then underneath, he posts something from the Marathon team. They wrote, "We immediately investigated a concern regarding unauthorized use of artist decals in Marathon and confirmed that a former Bungie artist included these in a texture sheet that was ultimately used in-game." Yeah, I really hate to be that former Bungie artist right now. Bungie is gonna have a case against his ass for sure, though you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. But anyhow, then they said, "This issue was unknown by our existing art team, and we are still reviewing how this oversight occurred. We take matters like this very seriously. We have reached out to the artist to discuss this issue and are committed to do right by the artist." And good on them for taking this approach, but I don't think it will do much to help them. I was arguing that this game was cooked long before this issue ever came up. I don't think enough people will be interested in playing this bland-looking turd of a game in the first place. They changed it up so much from the original games from the 90s that they aren't going to get much from the nostalgia crowd, and yet what they changed it into is ugly looking. So it was just a really poor design all the way around. But now they are really cooked, because here's my thoughts on the matter, and I doubt that I'm alone, but I really hate this sort of behavior, this sort of theft. If this was done by a game that I was actually looking forward to, say that I found out this was done in Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, then I would be completely turned off from the game to the point that I wouldn't want to play it. What this tells me is that this is a company full of activists who don't know a damn thing about actually creating. They think they can just rip off other artists and that everything will be fine. They are too used to being coddled and protected. They thought this would be okay. It really speaks to the culture of a studio that I just can't support. I mean, this isn't a small indie studio. This is freaking Bungie. And it brings to mind that quote from Tolkien that has been so popular in recent years: "Evil is not able to create anything new. It can only distort and destroy what has been invented or made by the forces of good." But I'm gonna leave it there. How cooked are Bungie and Marathon now that this has happened? Really cooked or really, really cooked? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.